my thing is the children's stuff right now. And I really want to work with storyboarders and create cartoons. And I want to see my books be turned into film with trustworthy people.
I know Homestead Entertainment is known for celebrating Black women authors. So if you wouldn't mind, let's kick things off with you each briefly sharing a bit about your creative journey with the company, taking your pages, your work from page to screen. Teri, if you want to go first.
Okay. Well, I did my deal with Dennis, and we're in the process of the script is done, and they've started casting, and it starts filming September 28th to October 12th. And it should be released, I believe, sometime in December on Tubi. So I'm really excited.
Well, my script is done, but they won't start doing casting and stuff like that until January. And so my film will be out next summer.
And so do each of you have any, especially Teri, since, you haven't really started yet, any dream cast lineups? When you first sold the project to Homestead and they're like, yeah, we're going to make a movie. Did you have a lineup of actors or actresses in your mind to play certain roles?
Honestly, on this one, I really didn't. I honestly, left everything up to Dennis. I didn't really, pick anybody for any role in this movie. I didn't even have anyone in mind. I would just say, what do you think? What do you think? Who do you think? Who do you think? I didn't want to interfere too much in his process as a director and as the production lead, getting
Absolutely.
It done. No, I really didn't. I just, because I wanted him as the director to, one thing I'm more focused on is learning the business and really just getting things done. And so that's me. I want to get things done. And you can always try again. And, there's so many people think that it's only, true to the game. I have 30 titles.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy for me to move forward. Just keep moving forward is the best thing I can say. And that's what I'm trying to do with Dennis.
How involved do each of you like to get, hands-on when it comes to working on a production of one of your stories? Do you, like you just said, Teri, do you let the crew, do you let the EPs, do you let the production heads just take the work and run with it? Or do you like to be hands-on on set, observing the directors, watching how the actors translate your work?
It's so nerve-wracking for me because I got ADHD and you got to be quiet and you can't talk on your phone and you got to be still. And I really have ADHD. So this set is like so nerve-wracking. Like, really? Are they really going to do that again? Like, it wasn't good. Like, it wasn't good. Like, you didn't like that? We're going to do it again. We're going to do this over again. We're really going to do this over again. Like, are they really going to do? So we're just going to sit here and do this shit all day, all over again. The same thing over again. And, I'm more of, I like putting my treatments together. I like putting together, there's certain projects that I have that I'm more personal to that, one is Teri's Game, which is my memoir. I wouldn't let people make decisions on that. There's another one, Alibi. No one's going to make decisions on that. I'll probably get to the point where Deadly Rains, I won't need to let anybody make decisions. A lot of it is needing to let people make decisions to get things done. But I have so many books that I don't, there's some that I don't really, I'll give you a prime example, like Angel. I have visions of it, but I don't want my visions to interfere in getting it done. And so I can let someone else take the helm or the realm on that, but not certain other projects like Teri's Game and Alibi and, Deadly Rains and things that I'm saving now.
I want to get to the point where Teri is, but I'm not there yet. I want the best decisions to be made for my project, but this Teri is like, how many movies have you had? 4, 5?
4.
Oh, she's 4 movies in. This is my first one. So I want the right decisions made. I have a vision for it, and I just want it done the right way. And I'm interested in being on set and learning the game and understanding why they shoot it this way or why it's done this way, because I really want to be able to take my work to the next level. I want to walk away from this learning the game.
Both of your titles, okay, so Teri, Predators, Nikki, On the Run, right? Both of them are set in like these gritty street worlds, pimp players and hustlers. Do I got that right? So I'm wondering, I feel like stories like this, without having read either one of these books, forgive me, but I feel like stories like this they serve as a cautionary tale. There are lessons to be learned here. So Nikki, I want to ask you, for our readers who will watch this interview, they've not read your book, what can you tell us about this world that you crafted, these characters, and is anything about this tale personal for you in any way?
Oh my God, I love Peaches Brown. On the Run was a short story that I did for a book called Most Wanted. And so Dennis was like, just whatever you want to give us, give us. So I was a little afraid. I was like, okay, I don't know what to do. It was all new for me. So when I decided to do the script, I knew that I wanted to change some things because she went to Miami, but in the story, she'll go to Detroit. You know what I mean? So it's different. And so I kind of redone the story over, like revamped the story. So I felt good about that. And I just love Peaches. And it's modernized too, because I wrote that story like about 16, 17 years ago. And so now it's modern day, and she's just phenomenal. And I think that everybody will be able to relate to her.
Okay, so have we cast Peaches yet? And if not who
yet.
Do you envision as Peaches? Is there
I don't
a
know.
hip hop star?
Changes.
Okay.
I think I know who I want, and then I don't know who I want. And then I don't want to be the one to make that final decision, because if she's not right, I don't want it to come back on me.
Fair enough. And how about you, Teri?
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
You say, Teri?
What about your story, Predators? Is this world that you've crafted, these characters?
Well, let me just say this. My Predators, if you go to my website, Teri Woods Media, Predators was actually a story by a guy named Ace. And I happened to write it and put it together and publish it. And his name is actually Walker Oglesby. And he was in prison at the time, and he did 40 years in prison. He just came home. What was it, when they had that book fair in Detroit? Nikki, you weren't able to make it, and
it was this year.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he had just come home, and he came to the book signing with me. He was there, and that was the first time I ever really got to meet him after all these years. So I'm really excited for Walker's story. I'm excited for getting another project done. But for me, let me just say this. So True to the Game, 1, 2, and 3, and it's phenomenal and it's great. But I really wanted something that had a little like shock value to it. And so I wanted the shock value of what Predators offers. It was strategically picked as far as content. The book itself had several shock factors to it. But that was really my only choice. And getting to build the relationship with Dennis as a director and trusting him to make the right decisions. Like Nikki said, I don't want it on me. I don't want, I just don't. This is the other thing. Let me just say this. And I don't know if Nikki, like Nikki expressed that she wants to be on the set. She wants to understand why they're doing this and why they're doing that. And she wants to learn. I sort of am at a stage where I'm in the middle of really creating. And Bonnie, could you stop? And so I want to stay in that creative mode and continue creating my content.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's easy for me to say, like, again, you have to look at Teri Woods Media. I got a couple, I could lose a couple of times. It might not work this time. I could go ahead and try again with, and maybe this one will work. And I can learn along the way the business, of just protecting me, protecting the content and getting business done. That's how I've been looking at it. But at the same time, I sort of been doing children's books. And, like that's my giraffe. I dress up like a giraffe and, I go read to kids. So I'm a vendor with the DOE on the low. I don't advertise it because then, I don't have time for any interference with the DOE. And being a vendor, I take it very seriously, being able to go into New York City public schools. And I, have really dedicated a lot of about 10 years now to creating my children's books and my children's world, becoming a vendor with the DOE. And then I wrote my memoir. But my thing is the children's stuff right now. And I really want to work with storyboarders and create cartoons. And I want to see my books be turned into film with trustworthy people assisting my production company along the way. And building those relationships, I think, are really key. And that's it. And Nikki, you look fabulous.
Thank you.
I haven't seen you in so long.
Oh, I know your skin is glowing.
Oh gosh, girl, I'm over here with the broke foot.
Now I know, while Teri, you said you prefer not to be as hands-on with the production, creative side, while Nikki, you're all in. Now, when your films come out, right? There's the whole social media aspect of it. And the response from social media and the response from readers, and you almost cannot shy away from that, right? So how involved will you be with social media, and how important is social media to your branding efforts? I mean, do you take time to engage with your fans, with your readers, and will you do so when your films come out? Nikki, let's start with Nikki.
Nikki will.
You know what? I want to get better with social media.
Me too.
I really, really, really need and want to do better with social media.
Me too.
I'm so old school and I'm so private and I'm so, I'm doing the best I can. I try, And it's like sometimes when I'm having special moments, I forget to take the picture. But I am going to do better. When the film comes out, I am going to do better. I'm going to start doing better before the film comes out, before production. And I will interact with my readers. I interact with them now when I do get on there, but I'm just not on there as much as I would like to be. Right?
Teri, I feel like you have a love-hate relationship with social media too, Teri.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know how to DM. I don't know. It's not my thing really, but I know it's relative. Listen, let me just say this. What I do know is that it's important for me to try my best, to give my best.
That's
I
right.
expect that the people that are putting the films together who, have this craft about them, the same way I have my craft in creating characters and writing stories, then,
Yes.
I expect, people their 100%, the same way I would do something. I don't care if I was a janitor, my floor would be the cleanest floor ever. So I've done janitorial work in my life. When I was a legal secretary, it was, like, people don't realize that sometimes you're trying, and you don't know who's gonna like it and who's not gonna like it, but you're trying. And so the thing about social media is, you just have some people that aren't going to be happy no matter what you do.
Right.
And they will try to rip you apart because it brings them joy. And then you'll have other people who will like what you've done and will appreciate your work. And so, or will like your movie. And so I've experienced people who, one thing I can say is, most people are not happy or satisfied with the movie versus the book because you lose so much content. You lose, down to a 90-page script from a 240 or 340 page book. You've lost so much. So if you get caught up in what people don't like about what you're trying to do, I just think that for some people it will hinder them. For me, I honestly, I don't want to be mean or anything, but I can't care that much if I'm going to keep going on doing what I want to try to do and create content. If I care about what people are saying on social media about a project that I'm trying to do. And this is the other thing. I don't think that people realize, on an independent level, how hard it is for us to get anything done.
Exactly.
Why would you want to, listen, if you don't want to support, I get it, but you got to recognize that the struggle, you got to recognize the hustle, you got to recognize the grind. And, you got to understand that nobody's giving anybody anything out here. This isn't Hollywood. Did nobody get the phone call? They didn't, come on. And so when I think about it as authors, it's sort of like an automatic for authors of other races to just be given film projects. Who doesn't get a film deal as a New York Times best-selling author?
Right.
Are you serious? With our fan base?
Right. And we have,
and then it's no, and then it's I've been I'm not saying anything, but I wrote True to the Game back in 1992. Are you serious? I don't even want to watch. I don't even want, if I turn on something else, I better not see no more chapters. I better not see nothing else. Really? So I just think that as authors, we're not valued as much as African American authors. Yeah. We're not valued at all. We're not valued as we should be. And I can say that my children's work was turned down by major publishers. I had no choice but to go sell it back out the trunk of my car on 125th Street. And then that's how I got back in bookstores. That's how I got invited into classrooms. And then I started dressing up like Ginger and everything and reading to the kids and, doing parties or whatever. But what I'm saying is why the hustle's that hard for someone who, and then for my book to be embraced, and I have a program built around it called the Love, Values, and Morals program. But I'm just saying, you can't get a publishing deal. no more than I can get a publishing deal right now is any more than either of you could name 5 African-American children's book authors that are a household name across the country, like a household name. Like, give me 1 or 2. And if I give you 1 right now, it's Little Bill. And I don't need that.
Right.
I don't need that. I don't want that. It's like, seriously. And so, and then you're looking at just the content factor, you know. Again, I just want to stay focused, so I can't get caught up in the social media or worry about what people like or don't like, because it for me, I'm a Pisces and I'm very sensitive. Nikki knows, and I'll start crying and just make me sad, right, Nikki?
Right, I know.
I will. I'll read bad stuff and I get all upset and I start crying, and so no, I don't like it. No. Don't do it if it's gonna bother you. Some people it doesn't bother. Other people it bothers. I don't like it. You know, because I try to work so hard. And
yeah. We do work hard. And
we work too hard, Nikki.
We do. And then I get to a place where, in a space where I say, you know what? This is my storyline and this is what I'm in charge of. So when I pass it off, it's like a group effort thing. I've done the best I could with my script. And I know it's fire. And whoever don't think it is, we can't kiss on here, so I can't say what they can kiss, but
right.
You have to be so strong. You really have to believe in yourself. This is a really hard industry, and I think it's even harder for us as women. I don't care what anybody says, and I think
no matter how many bestsellers we get, no matter how many awards we win, we still will never get the
accolades.
Yep, the accolades that some of these other writers,
or the paycheck, or the payday.
Absolutely.
So,
well, ladies, thank you.
Thank
you. Right, the paycheck or the accolades. Hopefully that'll change. Hopefully we're seeing some change. Right. Hopefully it's a slow process, a slow crawl.
I think that the minds of our readers, especially, you know, when I started back in 2000, it was like a big trend going on. It was huge. I know it's still big, but it was really big. And I just think that, you know, expanding the minds of so many African American readers that had never been reading. You know, I know that, like, what people come up to me and say, and I saw her line when she didn't show up. They were just all in line. It was just really, like, it was sad. I was like, do they know that she's not coming? Like, why doesn't someone tell them? They're just going to stand there all day. Like, I don't think is she coming? And her line was so long, like, and it was crazy. Like, did you know that, Nikki? Does anybody take a picture and show you your line?
I wish they would have. But do you remember we went on our Walmart book signing? Remember we did the Walmart tour?
When we were on the bus together?
Yes.
There was
other authors from other genres.
Yes. We had, listen, I loved it. I had such a good time. I really did. I will never forget those things.
I will never forget that either.